Hello everyone, how are you all? जल्दी से बता दो, am I live? Am I audible? Am I visible? Everything. Am I audible and visible everyone? Hello सर जी, कैसे हो? Hi रौनक सर, how are you? देखो प्रभु हमारी क्लास में आ गए. रौनक सर, द रौनक सर in our class right now, right? Raunak sir is in the class right now, live on all fellows account, right or no? Hello everyone. कैसे हो भाई सारे? दी रौनक सर आ गए हमारे साथ. रौनक सर, first of all everyone say hello to Ronak sir. Ronak sir is a very good friend of mine. He is my partner. He is the very true faculty, very best faculty in taxation, right or not? बहुत ही अच्छे फैकल्टी है टैक्सेशन सब. एवरीवन से हाई टू रौनक सर. रौनक अग्रवाल टैक्स क्लासेस बहुत मस्त पढ़ाते हैं रौनक सर. ठीक है, तो जल्दी से जुड़ जाओ, फिर स्टार्ट करते हैं सीरीज. लेट्स कॉन्कर स्टैंडर्ड्स. लेक्चर नंबर 1 स्टार्ट करते हैं. रौनक सर, एवरीवन इज सेइंग हाई टू यू. सब लोग आपको हाई बोल रहे हैं रौनक सर. हेलो रोहित सर, रौनक सर. रौनक सर बहुत ही अच्छा टेक्स्ट पढ़ाते हैं. बहुत ही अच्छा टेक्स्ट पढ़ा. सब लोग रौनक सर को हाई बोल रहे हैं. चलो जी, ग्रेट ग्रेट. चलो जल्दी से स्टार्ट करें. हाय सर, सीएमए फाइनल स्टूडेंट सर. हेलो हेलो ऑल द सीए फाइनल स्टूडेंट. प्लीज डू लेट योर फ्रेंड्स आल्सो लाइक नो अबाउट द क्लासेस सो दैट दे कैन आल्सो ज्वाइन. अभी 2 मिनट में स्टार्ट कर देंगे. एंड टुडे वी हैव अ टारगेट ऑफ एटलीस्ट डूइंग 2 स्टैंडर्ड्स टुडे. आज का टारगेट है 2 स्टैंडर्ड्स. आज का टारगेट है 2 स्टैंडर्ड्स, राइट? 2 स्टैंडर्ड्स वी आर गोइंग टू डू एंड we will complete. Hello, hello. Hi, Shrivardhan. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. Kindly take benefit of Rohit sir classes. All the best to everyone. Thank you so much, Ronak sir. चलो जल्दी से बोलो, स्टार्ट करेंगे. एवरीवन शैल वी स्टार्ट? ओके, तो जल्दी से लाइक कर दो पहले तो वीडियो को. एवरीवन प्लीज डू लाइक द वीडियो इफ यू थिंक दैट द वॉइस क्लैरिटी एंड द ऑडियो क्लैरिटी एंड द वीडियो क्लैरिटी एवरीथिंग इज फाइन, राइट और नॉट? जल्दी से. Yes, I can see your comments also. And for tomorrow's video, you can just immediately send me what are your requirements. I'll definitely take care of that. Okay. I'm going to take care of all these classes in the English language. The reason being very simple. In your CA examination, let it be intermediate or let it be final, all are going to come in the English examination. So there's no point of taking the classes in any other language. So jaldi se start karte hain everyone. Okay. First of all, I thought of starting this Let's Conquer series with you people. Chalo, तो I thought that ki let's start this series with you so that it will benefit you as well as it will benefit like each and everyone. Like it will benefit me as well क्योंकि मेरी भी ख्वाहिश थी. I wanted to contribute to you people. So finally I got an opportunity to tell you. Right? Chalo. Everyone, so as I told you that this series, that Let's Conquer series, lecture number 1 today, this series is going to be on daily basis every day. I will try my level best to come every day live from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, 2 or more standards on auditing will take, and once the standards will be over, then I'll take your then I'll take your what do you say, request also for the other topics also. Let it be CA final audit or let it be CA inter audit. I will definitely take your what do you say, comments, like whatever the topics you want me to teach you, I will definitely take up. CA final में I got the comments relating to bank audit, tax audit, fiscal audit, and intermediate में almost all the standards. So I explain ऐसे 500 series. Definitely, in the next few lectures, पूरा 500 series. I'm going to teach you here all the standards on auditing. Don't worry at all. Okay, Mars Mami, don't worry at all. All the standards we are going to take care of. Okay, so today I'm going to teach you two very important standards, which are definitely out of these two, one standard has to come. The first standard which we are going to learn, the first standard which we are going to learn today is called consideration of laws and regulations in an audit of financial statement. I hope all of you know that in the SA 200 series, SA 250 and SA 260, either of these two, minimum one has to come in your examination. एक तो पक्का तुम्हारे एग्जामिनेशन में आएगा. डू यू ऑल अग्री विद दैट? से यस इफ यू ऑल अग्री विद दैट. जल्दी से बता दो. SA 250 and SA 260. Definitely this standard is going to come in your examination. So today we are going to understand two standards. 9 to 10 is going to be the session on daily basis. Today we'll understand 250 and then we'll understand 260. Then I'll come to the 600 series. Then I'll come to the 700 series. Then I'll come to the 500 series. Each and every standard will be taken care of. Okay? Don't worry at all. No, nothing will be spared. हर चीज देखी जाएगी. ठीक है. चलो everyone, let us start with SA 250. So what is SA 250? Basically the name of the standard itself suggests its importance. Consideration of laws and regulations in an audit of financial statement. First of all, I would like to ask each and everyone who is attending the class, if first of all they tell me laws and regulations, statutes, compliance and statutory requirements are whose primary responsibility? Is it the responsibility of the auditor or is it the responsibility of the management? When we have been appointed as an auditor of some organization, jaldi se batao, it is whose responsibility? It is the management responsibility. It is completely and completely a management responsibility. Sir, when it's a management responsibility, what is the point of bringing this standard in our portion? Is it correct or not? When it is a management responsibility, what is the point of bringing that standard in our portion? The point was very simple. We are not going to make the management say that. We are not going to say to the management that you follow this and you follow that. That is not our work. That is the prime responsibility of the management and its internal control system. Our responsibility is only to check whether the management is complying with those particular standards or not. Management is complying with those accounting standards or not. Management is complying with the laws and regulations or not. Did you get the point or not? Yes, we just have to verify कि management is doing the work properly or not. Are you getting the point? So application of laws and regulation is not my responsibility. Only checking whether the management is complying with the laws and regulations, that is my responsibility. Clear everyone? ठीक है. So what is the auditor's responsibility? What is the auditor's responsibility relating to laws and regulation? First of all, the first responsibility of the auditor that he has to obtain an understanding of laws and regulation framework of your client. The first auditor responsibility, he has to understand the law and regulation framework of your client. Until unless you are not aware about the law and regulatory framework of your client, you will never be able to know that what kind of statutes, what kind of acts are applicable on your client. Point number one. Then you have to also ensure that whether your client is complying with its regulatory framework or not. So first responsibility of the auditor is understanding the regulatory framework of your client. Understanding the regulatory framework of your client, and along with that, you also have to check whether your entity, whether your client is complying with its regulatory framework or not. These are my which responsibilities? These are my general responsibilities. These are my which responsibilities, everyone? These are my general responsibility. Hello, Rakesh Patel. Yes, welcome, welcome. Now, what are my specific responsibilities in SA 250? What is the auditor's specific responsibility in SA 250? My specific responsibility. Now, try to understand. There are two types of laws and regulations we have to understand. How many types? Two types of laws and regulations. Everyone, please comment in the box. How many types of laws and regulations we have to take care of? Two types of laws and regulations we have to take care of. Just quickly comment. How many types of laws and regulations? Two types of laws and regulations we have to take care of. Sir, which two types of laws and regulations? Those laws and regulations which are directly affecting my client's financial statements. Those laws and regulations which are directly affecting my client's financial statements, and those laws and regulations which are not affecting my client's financial statements, but their non-compliance will affect my client's financial statements. Let me give you a very simple example. Now tell me everyone, Income Tax Act 1961 directly affects my client's financial statements? Yes or no? Income Tax Act 1961 directly affects my client statements or not? Yes. But Labor Acts directly affects your client statements? No. Labor Acts do not affect your client's financial statement directly. But if your client is not complying with the labor laws, whether that will affect the client's financial statements or not? Yes, क्योंकि नॉन कंप्लायंस पे what will happen? On the non compliance, what will happen? The penalties will be imposed, the punishments will be imposed, and ultimately it will affect the client's financial statement. Do you all agree with that? Did you understand the point? So what are my two specific responsibilities? My two specific responsibilities are, I have to take care of two types of laws and regulations. One type of laws and regulations which are directly affecting my client's financial statements, and another type of laws and regulations which are indirectly, the non-compliance of which is affecting my client's financial statements. Did you all understand the point or not? Did you all understand the point or not? So what was my general responsibility? My general responsibility is to understand the regulatory framework of my client. What is my another responsibility general? The to ensure that the client is complying with the its regulatory framework. What is my second responsibility? Second responsibility, specific responsibility, is I have to take care of those laws and regulations which are directly affecting my client's financial statement, which are directly affecting my client's financial statement. And I also have to take care of those laws and regulations which are non-compliance of which is affecting my client's financial statement. Did you all understand? If you all understand up to this point, write the word CC. Quickly write the word CC. CC stands for crystal clear. Every day you just have to use the word called CC only, and just fill up the comment box if you understood the concept what I'm trying to tell. So we are doing essay 250. In the essay 250, first we understood auditor's general responsibility, and then we understood auditor's specific responsibility. I hope everything is crystal clear. And don't worry, these notes I'm going to put up in the description box. In the description, I'm going to put these notes in via Google link. You can download these notes and everything will be available to you. Okay, so give the thumbs up if you want. Right on, give the thumbs up if you want these notes. You can download these notes. It will be available in the description box once the video will be over. Yes. Now, if those laws, which are directly affecting my client's financial statements, those laws and regulations which are directly affecting my client's financial statements, what the auditor has to do? Auditor has to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidences on to see that whether the client is complying with the laws and regulations or not. Are you getting the point? Auditor has to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidences for which kind of laws and regulations? Those kind of laws and regulations which are directly impacting the client's financial state. What is your first responsibility? First responsibility is obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. Clear? Second responsibility is to ensure that whether your client is complying with those laws and regulations or not. And what is the third responsibility? Obtain written representation letter from your client. Obtain written representation letter from your client. Can anybody tell me written representation is a which standard? As per SA 580. As per SA 580, obtain the written representation from your client. What you are going to ask him to write in that, all the cases of non-compliance and suspected non-compliances has been disclosed to the auditor. So what are the three things I have to do, everyone? Quickly respond. What are the three things I have to do? Those laws and regulations which are directly affecting my client's financial statements. There are three responsibilities of the auditor. What is the first responsibility? Obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. What is my second responsibility? To ensure that whether that client is complying with those laws and regulations or not. And what is my third responsibility? Obtain WRL from the management and make sure that the management has declared that all the cases of non-compliances and all the suspected cases of non-compliances have been disclosed to the auditor. Crystal clear? अगर मजा आ रहा है तो वीडियो को लाइक कर दो. If the things are becoming good to you, if you think that it is a good initiative, then like the video, share the video with your friends. Okay? Yes, everyone. Crystal clear? Okay. Now, what about those other laws and regulations? What about those other laws and regulations whose non-compliance is affecting my client's financial statement? I already told you, other laws and regulations means those laws and regulations whose non-compliance is affecting my client's financial statement. What the auditor has to do in that case? Auditor shall perform his audit procedures. Auditor shall perform his what? Audit procedures. Make the management inquiry. Make the management inquiry and inspect the correspondence with the regulatory authority. auditor shall perform his audit procedure. What he has to do in the audit procedures? Make the management inquiry. Okay, there are 20 or more workers in your factory. Whether the bonus act will be applicable? Yes. Whether the PF act is applicable? Yes. Whether the ESI act is applicable? Yes. Then show me the documentation. What kind of correspondences you have got from the authority? What you have sent to the authority? Why we need to do that? So that I can identify the cases of non-compliance. Why I need to do the inquiry with the management? Why I need to check their correspondences with the regulatory authority? So that I can do what? I can check the cases of non-compliance. And again, obtain WRL on this also, where the management is going to declare that all the cases of non-compliances and all the suspected cases of non-compliances have been told to the auditor. Did you all understand? If you all understood, write the word CC and let me know. Okay, if you all understood up to this point, write the word CC and let me know. So which standard we are doing, everyone? SA 250 we are doing. What does this standard talks about? Consideration of laws and regulations in an audit of financial statement. Auditor की दो responsibility है, general responsibility, special responsibility. General responsibility to understand the regulatory framework of the client as well as to check whether the compliance is done or not. Specific responsibility, I have to talk about the two types of laws and regulations, one which are directly affecting the client's financial statement and another one of which non-compliance is affecting the client's financial statement. If the regulations which are directly affecting the client's financial statement, what the auditor has to do, sir, obtain the SAAE, check the compliance and obtain the WRL. And other laws and regulations whose non-compliance is affecting the client's financial statement, then perform the audit procedure, do the management inquiry, check their correspondence with the authorities, identify the cases of weaknesses and obtain WRL from the management. Right, everyone? Yes or no? Yes. Now, audit procedure mein, I have written the audit procedures in two different manners. I have written the audit procedures in connection with SA 250 in two different manner. Are you getting the point? Two different manner. This is the one method which I have written. This is the one method which I have written, everyone. And this is the second method which I have written. This is the second method I have written. I will suggest you that whatever the method you are interested in, you can pick up any of these two methods. So there are two methods I have written. First is the above method and second one is this method, right? So I will suggest you, if you want to understand this standard in a layman language, follow the second one. Now, if auditor found out, Acha, tell me one thing. While checking the laws and regulations, how the auditor will come to know that there are non-compliance of laws and regulations? Auditor को कैसे पता चलेगा? How the auditor will come to know that there are non-compliances of laws and regulations? Don't you think that there will be so many indicators which are going to come in front of the auditor, and auditor will come to know that client is nothing but doing the non-compliance of laws and regulations? Yes or no? So first, before moving to the audit procedures, I would like you to first understand what are those indicators. And let me tell you one thing. Direct question comes in the examination. What are the indicators of non-compliances of laws and regulations? Now, what are the indicators? First of all, we are going to understand the indicators. What are the indicators, sir? Indicator means, suppose regulatory authorities are investigating your client. Regulatory authorities are investigating the client. Tell me one thing. If the regulatory authorities are investigating the client, why a regulatory authority would like to investigate a client? Is it a good indicator or a bad indicator? Is it an indicator of compliance or non-compliance? Non-compliance only, na? It is an indicator of non-compliance only. Then only the regulatory authority is doing the investigation on you. Yes. If you are paying lot of penalties and fines, is it also one of the indicator or not? Yes. If you are paying lot of penalties and fines, is it also an indicator or not? Yes. If you are making excessive payments to the related parties, you all know that section number 188 says that do the transaction with the related party, there is no problem, but do it at which price? Arm's length price. But you are not complying with section number 188 and you are making the excessive payments to your related party. That is also a non-compliance. Yes or no? Excessive agent and sales commission you are paying. You are paying the excessive agent and sales commission, everyone. If you are paying the excessive agent and sales commission, it means kuch to gadbad hai daya. It means some problem is there. Am I correct or not? Yes, this is also one of the indicator. Purchases at lower or above price than the market price. Sometimes you are purchasing above than market price. Sometimes you are purchasing lower than market price, but you are not at all purchasing. You are not at all purchasing at what? You are not at all purchasing on market price. It means there also some problem is there. सर आपने बोला था ना लास्ट एग्जांपल में नॉन कंप्लायंस का कैसे लेबर एक्ट कंप्लायंस नहीं करेगा, तो ये बात मैनेजमेंट को ऑडिटर को बताना पड़ेगा. आई थिंक ये बेस्ट एग्जांपल. थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच. यस और नो? अच्छा, अनयूजुअल कैश पेमेंट्स. Unusual cash payment means what? Will there be a possibility of the black money being paid in the market? Will there be a possibility if there are unusual cash payments? Yes or no? If there are unusual cash payment, then also there's a possibility. This is also an indicator of non-compliance. Unusual legal payments. तुम्हारी legal payments, तुम्हारी professional payments are getting increased and increased. Tell me one thing, when your legal payments and when your professional payments are increasing day by day, at the end of the day, is it a possibility that you are losing the cases? You are paying more money on defending your cases? Yes or no? Yes. Payments without documentation. You are making some payments, but there are no documentation. Obviously, you have to prepare the invoice for each and every payment. And if you are not preparing the invoice, it means you are not complying with section number 128. That is called your books of accounts. Again, a non-compliance. Failure of audit roll due to the poor management information system. Suppose your management information system is very poor. That is also the indication of the non-compliances. Unauthorized transactions, improperly recorded transactions. What do you mean by unauthorized or improperly recorded transactions? Now tell me one thing, installation expenditure should be the part of P&L or should be added to the cost of an asset? It's a balance sheet item, it's a capital item, but you are debiting it to the P&L account. Again, it is a non-compliance. And last but not the least, yes, some bad media comments are coming on your company. Why the media would like to have a bad comments on you? Why you are getting a bad publicity in the market? Definitely there are some non-compliances from your end. That's why you're getting the bad publicity in the market. If you all understood, write the word CC about the indicators of non-compliance. If you all understood, write the word CC about the indicators of non-compliance and hit the like button to the video if you have not hit it yet. Are you getting the point? Okay. So this is what the indicators which the auditor may come across about the non-compliances of what? About the non-compliances of laws and regulations. Now, if there is a non-compliance of laws and regulation, are you getting the point? If there is a non-compliance of laws and regulation, I will divide it into two parts. Identified non-compliances. If the auditor has identified non-compliances, what the auditor shall do? Auditor shall understand the nature of that non-compliance and check its impact on the financial statement and circumstance. Are you getting the point? So if the auditor has identified the non-compliances, what the auditor has to do? Auditor has to check the nature of the non-compliance. He has to check the impact of such non-compliance on the financial statement and under what circumstances that non-compliance has taken place. These are the three things auditor has to do if he has identified a non-compliance. Crystal clear, everyone? Yes. Second thing, if he has suspected a non-compliance, अगर तुम्हें किसी non-compliance के ऊपर शक हो रहा है, if you are suspecting a non-compliance, it means you are not sure, but you are suspecting it. What you are going to do? You are going to discuss that with management and TCWG. Do you want me to go for a additional audit procedures or not? Discuss the suspected non-compliance with the management and TCWG, and in case you think that it is not something within your qualification, it is not something within your competence, then in that case better take the legal advice on that. Dekho, if you have identified the non-compliances, nothing you have to do. Understand the nature of non-compliance, understand its impact on financial statement, and under what circumstances it has been carried out. That is what you have to understand. But if you have suspected a non-compliance, it's better to communicate with the management and TCWG. If the management is not listening, go to the TCWG and consider taking a legal advice on it. Consider taking a which advice on it? Legal advice on it. Are you getting the point? And if the auditor's inability to confirm a non-compliance, if the auditor's inability to confirm the non-compliance, what do you mean by that? If the auditor is unable to confirm the non-compliance, then evaluate, consider its impact on your financial state. Consider its impact on your which statement? Consider its impact on your financial statements as well as your audit report. Did you all understand what I'm saying? Did you all understand what I'm saying? So these are the some of the things you have to understand. So what are the three things we understood? In case there is a non-compliance, I divided it into three parts. Identified non-compliance, suspected non-compliance, and unable to evaluate the non-compliance. Identified non-compliance, understand the nature of the non-compliance and its impact on the financial statement and circumstances under which it has been done. Second thing, if there is a suspected non-compliance, then in that case, better to have a communication with the management and TCWG and try to take the legal advice on it if you are not able to figure out what kind of suspicion you got. And if you are unable to, if the auditor is unable to confirm the non-compliance, then consider its impact on what? Consider its impact on financial statement. Consider its impact on financial statement. Did you get the point? Did you get the point? Yes, consider its impact on financial statement as well as the auditor's report. I hope all of you understood. I hope all of you understood. Yes, I think everything is crystal clear so far, whatever we have done. Okay. Now the most important thing, we have to understand what is the auditor's responsibility. What is the auditor's responsibility when it comes to the non-compliance of laws and regulation? What is the auditor's responsibility when it comes to the laws and non-compliance of laws and regulation? इसमें auditor की क्या responsibility है? What is his reporting responsibility? Everyone, please be very careful. This question has been asked so many times in the examination. You have to be 200% sure what you are writing. Now see, you are going to talk to the management. You are going to talk to the management when you will find the non-compliances. Are you getting the point? If the management is involved in that, if it is material in nature, and if it is done intentionally, are you going to communicate it with the TCWG? Say yes or no. You communicated the non-compliance with the management. If the management is involved in that, it is material in nature, and it is, intentional in nature, are you communicate with the TCWG? Yes, you are going to communicate with whom? You are going to communicate with the TCWG. But let me tell you one thing, if the TCWG is also involved in that, then what you are going to do? If the TCWG is also involved in that, then what you are going to do? Then you are going to communicate it to the higher authority. Sir, higher authority का मतलब क्या होता है? Higher authority का मतलब होता है audit committee. I hope you all know section number 177, audit committee. Yes or no? Section number 177, audit committee. I hope all of you know. So what I'm trying to tell you that you are going to first communicate it with the management. Yes, sir. If the management is involved, you are going to communicate with the TCWG. Yes or no? First, you are going to communicate with the management. Then you are going to communicate with whom? TCWG. If you think that TCWG is also involved, then what is the next senior level? That is called audit committee. Audit committee, you all know under section 177, it is compulsorily to be constituted for the listed companies, and for the unlisted public companies, if the paid up share capital is 10 crores or more, or outstanding borrowings is 50 crores or more, or turnover is 100 crores or more, then the audit committee becomes compulsory. Did you all understand? Did you all understand? Yes or no? Yes. Write the word CC if you all understood. What is the auditor's reporting responsibility? First, report it to the management. If management is involved, then report it to the TCWG. If you think the TCWG is also involved and it is intentional and material in nature, better go to the senior higher level authority. Did you all understand? Yes, 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 sir. We all understood. Now, what is the auditor's reporting responsibility? What are the auditor's responsibility towards the reporting of it? How I am going to report the non-compliance in my report? Now, see, if that non-compliance or suspected non-compliance is having a significant effect, it is having a which effect? Significant effect on the financial statement, and it is leading you towards the material misstatement. It is leading you towards the material misstatement. Again repeating, if the non-compliance of the laws and regulation or suspected non-compliance of the laws and regulation is having a material effect on financial statements, then you are either going to qualify the report or you're going to adverse the report. Now I'm going to stop here for a bit. Can anybody tell me when to qualify and when to adverse? if the effect of the non-compliance is material but not pervasive in nature. If the effect of the non-compliance is affecting my financial statements materially but not pervasively, I will give a qualified opinion. I will give a which opinion? Qualified opinion. But if the effect of that non-compliance is affecting my financial statements materially as well as pervasively, then in that case I will give the which opinion? Adverse opinion. Did you all understand? अगर सबको समझ में आ गया, if everyone who is watching has understood, please hit the like button and please share this video with your friends as soon as possible, and as soon as possible this video will get ended. सब लोग write the CC if you all understood. Yes or no? Yes. So what is the auditor's reporting responsibility? कि भैया, if the effect of the non-compliance is material but not pervasive on the financial statement, I will give a qualified, and if it is material as well as pervasive, I will give what? I will give a adverse opinion. Did you all understand the point? Did you all understand the point? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Acha, if the auditor is unable to conclude due to the limitation of post, suppose auditor के पास chance ही नहीं था, auditor was unable to conclude the effect of non-compliance on the financial statement. What is the word used? Unable. Whenever the word unable is used, there are two things comes to our mind. Sir, either it can be qualified or it can be disclaimer. Is it correct or not? When the auditor is unable to conclude the impact of the non-compliance on the financial statement due to the limitation imposed by the management or due to non-availability of the SAE, in such cases either qualified आएगा या disclaimer आएगा. Sir, qualified कब आएगा? When qualified will come and when disclaimer will come? If the possibility of effect of material misstatements due to the non-compliance of laws and regulations could be material but not pervasive, I will give a qualified. But if the effect of non-compliance could be material as well as pervasive, I will give a disclaimer opinion. Did you all understand the point? Did you all understand the point? Yes or no? These are known as auditors reporting response. Did you all understand the point? Yes or no? Write the word CC if you all understood. So what we have learned now, is auditors reporting responsibilities. We have learned auditors reporting responsibility. First responsibility, if you find any non-compliance or suspected non-compliance, communicate with the management if it is material in nature. But if management is involved in that intentionally, then communicate with the TCWG. If the TCWG is also involved in that, then communicate with the senior level management. Are you getting the point? And most importantly, second thing, what is the impact on your audit report? Sir, definitely unmodified report, so definitely we are not going to give. But when we are going to give qualified, adverse or disclaimer, if the effect of the non-compliance of laws and regulation on the financial statement is material but not pervasive, qualified. If it is material as well as pervasive, unqualified. But if you are unable to check the impact on the financial statement due to the limitation imposed or no SAE, and it could be material but not pervasive, qualified. It could be material as well as pervasive, then what? Disclaimer. Did you all understand what I'm saying? Did you all understand what I'm saying? Yes, yes, yes. So that brings an end to the essay 250. Everyone, those who are watching, please let me know. Did you enjoy it? Write the word enjoyed it. Write the word enjoyed it if you enjoyed the session. अगर समझ में आया, if essay 250 went inside your head, if you think that this little bit of effort is making you understand or is making you little bit feel free for your examination, if it is giving you an inner confidence, do let me know and write the word enjoyed it if you have enjoyed. Did you get the point or not? Yes or no? Yes. So basically, let's wrap it up in 2 minutes. So what is the standard number we are doing? Essay 250, consideration of laws and regulations in an audit of financial statement. Clear everyone? ऑडिटर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्या है? ऑडिटर की दो तरह की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है सर. जनरल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, he has to understand the regulatory framework of the client's laws and compliances, and he has to ensure that whether he is complying or not. Specific responsibility क्या है? There are two types of laws which he have to take, one which are affecting directly your financial statement and other whose non-compliance is affecting the financial statement. Next one, if it is directly affecting the financial statement, what is the auditor's responsibility? He has to obtain SAE, he has to ensure the compliance and obtain WRL, where the management and TCWG are declaring that they have told each and everything to the auditor, whether they are non-compliances or and suspected non-compliances. If the other laws and regulation whose non-compliance is affecting the financial statement, what the auditor has to do in that case? Auditor has to perform the audit procedure, inquiry from the management, and inspect the correspondences. Why he's doing that? So that he can identify the cases of non-compliances, and again he has to obtain the WRL. Right or not? What are the possible indicators of the non-compliance? The possible indicators are investigations, penalties, excessive payments, excessive agent commission, purchase and sales at the higher and lower price, unusual cash payments, unusual legal payments, am I correct, or payments without documentation, failure of the auditor in unauthorized transaction improperly recorded, and adverse media comments. These are the various reasons due to which the non-compliance may happen. Am I correct or not? Then what is the auditor's responsibility if there is an identified non-compliance? Auditor की responsibility क्या है? He has to understand the nature of the non-compliance. He has to understand the impact of non-compliance on the financial statement, and in which circumstances this non-compliance has taken place. That also auditor has to verify. If there is a suspected non-compliance, auditor क्या करेगा? Auditor will talk and communicate with the management and TCWG and consider taking the legal advice on. And last but not the least, auditors' inability to confirm a non-compliance. Now, why auditors' inability to confirm non-compliance? Sometimes क्या होता है, limitations are imposed, right or not? Inability to confirm the non-compliance. Say, for example, the factory is in Naxal area. Divya, please understand the example you asked me. Suppose the factory is in Naxal area. Now you are unable to go there and count the number of employees in the factory. They are saying that they are not having 20 or more, that's why bonus act is not applicable. Are you understanding? They are saying that they have not complied with, they are not complying with the bonus act because less than 20 workers are there. But do you have to go to the factory and check it whether the 20 or more workers are there or not? But the factory is in which area? Sir, factory is in Naxal area. Factory कौन से area में है? Factory Naxal area में है. अब Naxal area में will you be able to go and conduct the audit procedure? No, you will not be able to go and conduct the audit procedure. So are you able to collect the evidence or unable to? Unable to. Because of your inability to go over there, then evaluate its impact on your auditor's report. I hope Divya, whatever you asked has been justified. Please write the word CC if it is justified and you understood it. Yes or no, Divya? Yes or no? Yes. So what is the auditor's responsibility? Auditor की responsibility क्या है? Sir, management को communicate करो. अगर involved है तो TCG को communicate करो. If involved in the senior level को. Audit report में definitely modified report, but when to qualify, when to adverse, when to disclaimer, I already explained you. And last but not the least, whether the auditors sometimes have to report it to the higher level authorities. Like say for example, in the company related issue, do we report it to the ROC or not? Yes, we have to report it to the ROC for the non-compliances. If it is a listed company, do we have to report it to the SEBI or not? Yes. If it is an insurance company, do we have to report it to IRDA or not? Yes. So you also have to check what is your responsibility in reporting to the higher authorities. Did you get the point or not? Did you get the point or not? Yes. I hope all of you understood the concept. I hope all of you understood the concept. Thank you so much, Komal. Thank you so much, Aman Taneja. Bhai, kaise ho? Thank you so much, Sandeep. Thank you so much, Robin, Divya, Amrita, everyone. Very, 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 very thank you to all of you for joining the session. I hope Rajesh, Gopal, hello. Yes, Ankit. Hi, Amrita. Hi, Robin. Everyone, very, very thank you so much for all joining this. So, are we ready for essay 260 now? Are we ready for essay 260 now? Yes or no? essay 260 के लिए ready हैं? हाँ sir, essay 260 के लिए ready है. Everyone write 260 if you all are ready. Write the word 260 if you all are ready. Yes. Thank you, Jyoti. Thank you, Jyoti. Right? Write the word 260 if you all are ready. Yes, sir. We are ready. Now, what is essay 260? Essay 260, first of all, to try to understand the name. What is written in essay 260? Essay 260 क्या है? Communicating with those charged with the governance. Means, in this standard, are we going to communicate with the management or we are going to communicate with the level higher than management? We are going to communicate with the level higher than management. But question arises, sir, why we are communicating? Why we are communicating? We are communicating because there is a reason to have a better clarity of communication. We are communicating so that I can have a better clarity with the TCWG, so that I can remove or I can reduce the chances of dispute, if any, going to arise between me and TCWG. Don't you think that the transparency is required? Don't you think that the transparency is required between the auditor and the TCWG? Yes. So in this standard, what we are going to understand, everyone, very small standard, hardly 20-25 minutes it will take, right or not? And this standard will also be inside your head. But remember one thing, do not use your cache memory when you are sitting in my class. Always use your hard disk. इसको कंज्यूम कर लो, कंज्यूम these standards. It should be inside your body. When you cut your veins, this standard should come. That is how the chartered accountant should live his life. यहाँ से ब्लड की जगह क्या निकलना चाहिए? स्टैंडर्ड्स निकलने चाहिए. Are you getting the point? Not the blood. That's why I'm concentrating on standard, because whether you believe it or not, today also and tomorrow when you all will become a qualified practicing CA, only standards on auditing are going to help you out in making your career to the acme level. If you really want to make your career in the top level or the toppest level, then standards on auditing are going to only help you. Do you all agree with that? If you agree with that, write the word CC. If you all are agreeing with that, yeah, Dakna, this is what you have to understand about the standards. Standards code touch the nerves, catch the nerves of the standard. Are you getting the point? Now, what is the second topic for the today? Essay 260. So what is essay 260? Communicating with those charged with the governance. But before entering into essay 260, first we all have to understand one thing कि भैया मैनेजमेंट क्या होती है और TCWG क्या होती है. What do you understand by management and what do you understand by TCWG? I can guarantee you today also some of the students are having the confusion between the management and TCWG. Management are those people who are equipped with the responsibility of conducting the entities operations. Conducting the which operations? Entity operations. जो day to day operations को take care करते हैं, those people are known as management. And what do you mean by TCWG? TCWG are those people who are always thinking of strategic decisions of the company. They're always thinking of which decisions, everyone? Strategic decisions of the company. Are you getting the point? And they are always responsible, they are always accountable for anything non-compliance with the company. Did you get the point? So management are the management are not TCWG people. Management are those people who are taking care of day-to-day operations. TCWG are those people who are taking care of what? Strategic decision or accountability kind of thing. But my question is very simple. My question is very simple, everyone. I will ask you the two questions. After reading your comments only, I'll move further. If your management and TCWG are separate, they are different, then only this standard will exist. Am I correct or not? Because whatever the management is going to do wrong, that is what TCWG is interested in knowing. But if your management and TCWG both are at the same level, if your management and TCWG both are at the same level, whether there is any point of this standard? No, there is no point of this standard. Did you all understand? Sir, basically TCWG का मतलब क्या होता है? Tell me, what is basically the meaning of TCWG? TCWG basically is going to check whether the management is able to do its work properly or not, whether the management is able to control internal control system properly or not. Do you all understand the point or not? Do you all understand the point or not? So it is my responsibility that I should communicate with the TCWG if something wrong is happening with the management. Then only there is an existence of SA 260. If the management and the TCWG both are same parties, then there is no point, because whatever the management is doing wrong, do I have to communicate the same thing to the person who is doing wrong? Tell me, everyone. If the management and TCWG are same, and if the management and TCWG are doing something wrong, do I have to communicate with them? No, I need not communicate. So understand that when this standard is good, when this standard is required, this standard is only required when the management and TCWG are different. First to determine, that is what I wrote it specially. First, what to determine? First, the auditor has to determine if whether the management and TCWG are same or the management and TCWG are different. If the management and TCWG are not same, then communicate the findings with whom? TCWG. If the management and TCWG are not same, then communicate the findings with the TCWG. But if the management and TCWG are same, then तो there is no existence of SA 260. then तो 260 का फायदा ही नहीं है. there is no point of 260 then. क्योंकि am I going, अच्छा, say for example, let's say for example, Divya, Robin and Amrita, you are the CEO, CFO and MD. You are also the board of directors. Are you getting it? It means management and TCWG both are same. You are only doing something wrong. I found out that you people are doing something wrong. Do I have to communicate the same thing to you? Do I have to communicate the same thing to you? No, I need not communicate the same thing to you. But if the Divya is the board of director and Amrita and Robin, you are the TCWG, if the Divya is doing something wrong, do I have to communicate the significant findings to you now? Yes, because you both are at different level now. You both are at different level now. Am I correct or not? I hope all of you understood. So what is the first thing the auditor has to determine? Whether the management and TCWG is same or the management and TCWG is not same. Crystal clear, everyone? Yes or no? Hit the like button if you are watching the video, and if you have not hit the like button so far, that is nothing but gives us a little bit of motivation to bring these kind of things for you. Hit the like button if you think that it was a genuine effort from our side to bring it to your notice, right? Now, what is to be communicated? What is the major core of this standard? That I'm going to tell you. What is the major core of this standard? That's what I'm going to tell you now. What needs to be communicated? There are so many things are required to be communicated with the TCWG. अब सुनना ध्यान से. Let me tell you one thing and tell me, do you all agree or not? There are things which the auditor has to communicate right at the beginning of the audit only. There are things which the auditor has to communicate right at the beginning of the audit only. There are things which the auditor has to communicate during the audit also. And there are things which the auditor has to communicate at the end of the audit. Do you all agree with that? So there are three types of things. There are three types of things which the auditor is communicating at beginning, during, and at end. There are three types of communications which you have to do with the TCWG: beginning of the audit, during the audit, and end of the audit. Am I correct or not? Now tell me one thing, whether in the beginning of the audit, let me ask you a very simple thing, whether in the beginning of the audit only, do I have to communicate? Whether in the beginning of the audit only, do I have to communicate my responsibilities? Tell me everyone, how many of you agree with that? At the beginning of the audit only, do I have to communicate my responsibilities? Yes, sir. I have to communicate my responsibilities. What are my responsibilities? What is the first thing I have to communicate with the TCWG? Ki bhaiya, I am appointed as an auditor for forming and expressing an opinion. I am appointed as an auditor for forming and expressing an opinion. Don't be under the impression that I will give you the guarantee. What is my first auditor responsibility, which the auditor has to communicate with the TCWG at the very beginning only? I am the auditor appointed for forming and expressing an opinion, and I'm not here for the guarantee. Second thing, I will express the opinion by following my standards on auditing. I will express the opinion by following the standards on auditing. What is the third thing? Ki bhaiya, even though I am going to communicate with you, even though I am going to express an opinion, but appointing the auditor doesn't mean that TCWG is released from its responsibility. Don't be under the impression that you are released from your responsibility. Point number one. What is the first thing I'm communicating at the beginning of the starting of my audit? Bhaiya, my responsibilities are, I'm here to form and express an opinion. I will follow the standards on auditing while expressing the opinion. But appointing me does not release you. Who is you here? TCWG, from your responsibility. You are still responsible. Did everyone understood the point or not? Everyone understood the point or not? Yes. That is the first thing I have to communicate with the TCWG right at the beginning of starting of the audit only. Crystal clear? Yes. Now, should I discuss my scope and timing of audit with the TCWG? Now, some of the students, you will say that, sir, if we'll discuss our scope and timing of audit with the TCWG, if I'll discuss my plan, scope and timing of the audit with the TCWG, TCWG will become attentive. Management will become attentive. They will understand my surprise element. I will lose my surprise check element while doing the audit, but that is not the case. What to discuss, what not to discuss, that depends upon the auditor's professional judgment. I'm not going to discuss when I'm going to do what and with which technique I'm going to do. Always keep the surprise element ready. Then, sir, what we are going to discuss in the planned scope and timing of an audit, I am going to discuss how I'm going to assess your significant risk of material misstatements. I'm only going to discuss how I'm going to assess your significant risk of material misstatements. What is my approach going to be towards your internal control system? मेरी क्या अप्रोच होगी तुम्हारे इंटरनल कंट्रोल सिस्टम को लेकर? What is my approach going to be towards your internal control system? How the auditor, how I have determined my materiality, how I have determined my materiality, what is material in my eyes, what is immaterial in my eyes, how I'm going to determine it, and whether I'm going to use the work of your internal auditor or not. Whether I'm going to use the work of internal auditor or not. Now, my question is very simple to all of you, those who are watching. Did I disclose any of my surprise element? Tell me. Did I disclose any of my surprise element by communicating these four things with the TCWG? Tell me, everyone. Did I disclose any of my surprise element? No surprise element. I just discussed how I'm going to assess your ROMUM, how I determine my materiality, what is my approach towards your internal control system, and whether I'm going to use the work of internal auditor or not. This is what I'm discussing. Now tell me whether the surprise element is still there with me or not. Whether the surprise element is still there with me or not. Yes, it is still there with me. Sir, planned scope and timing of the audit, when do we discuss? We should discuss it again at the beginning only. We should discuss it again at the beginning only. Did you get the point? So there are two things we discussed at the beginning of the audit only. First thing which I discussed was my responsibilities. What is the first thing I discussed? First thing I discussed was my responsibility. And what is the second thing I discussed? I discussed my planned scope and timing of an audit. Did you all understand the point? Did you all understand the point? Thoko like if you think that, yes, sir, we understood. Thoko like if you think that, yes, we understood. Did you all understand the point or not? Yes or no? Like the video, share the video with your friends immediately. Okay, once this session will be important. Now, what is the third thing which I have to communicate with the TCWG? What is the third thing I have to communicate with the TCWG? Now tell me, what is the heading name, everyone? The heading name is known as significant findings. The heading name is known as significant findings. Now tell me, is it at the beginning of the audit? Is it at the end of the audit or during the audit? Is it at the beginning of the audit? Is it at the end of the audit or during the audit? जल्दी से बता दो. Is it at the beginning of the audit? Is it at the end of the audit or during the audit? Waiting for your reply. Quickly. जल्दी से बता दो. Beginning of the audit, at the end of the audit or during the audit? This is what I'm going to communicate during the audit. This is I'm going to communicate during the audit. Sir, why during the audit? When I'll do the audit, then only I'll find the findings or not. Jyoti, try to understand. When I will do the audit, then only I will find out some significant findings or not. Yes. My responsibility, I know. That's why I've communicated with the TCWG in the beginning. My planned scope and timing of the audit, I know that. That's why I communicated with the TCWG in the beginning. But during the audit only, I will be able to find out the significant findings or not. Yes. So everyone, please write CC if you all understood. Yes. Now, significant findings, mein, there are so many things you have to communicate. There are so many things you have to communicate. The first thing which you have to communicate is the qualitative aspects of the accounting of the client. What is the first thing you have to communicate? You have to communicate qualitative aspects of the accounting. Sir, what do you mean by qualitative aspects of the accounting? You have to check their accounting policies, whether they are consistently followed or not. You have to check their accounting estimates and whether you have to check whether their accounting estimates are made adequately, properly or not. And you also have to check whether they have made the proper disclosures in the financial statement or not. If you have any kind of significant findings relating to their accounting policy, relating to their accounting estimates, relating to their financial statement disclosure, that is what do we call at checking qualitative aspects of the accounting. This is what I'm going to communicate to the TCWG. Bhaiya, there is some problem in your accounting policies, there are some problems in your accounting estimates, or there are some problems in your financial statement disclosure. Did you all understand the point? Yes. Then you are also going to communicate what? You are also going to communicate the significant difficulties. You're also going to communicate what? Significant difficulties. Sir, what kind of significant difficulties? Significant difficulty number one, unnecessary brief time. Sir, what do you mean by unnecessary brief time? Say, for example, the management is telling you, please complete the audit quickly. We need the audit within 1 day. We need the audit to be completed within 2 days. Now tell me, are they unnecessarily putting the pressure on you to do the audit in a summarized way? Are they unnecessarily putting the pressure on you to do the audit in a summarized way? Yes or no? Yes. उसे बोलते हैं unnecessary brief time. That is called what? Unnecessary brief time. Crystal clear, everyone? This is what do you mean by unnecessary brief time. Second thing, unavailability of expected information. Now, during the course of an audit, if there is a unavailability of expected information, you were expecting some information, but they are not providing you the information. Are you going to communicate this with the TCWG or not? Okay, I went to the management, I demanded this information, but they are not paying me. They are not giving me this information. That is the second significant difficulty you are going to share. Third significant difficulty you are going to share is significant delay in the information provision. I told them that by tomorrow morning 10 o'clock, I need this information. But they are giving me this information after 1 week. Now tell me, they are giving me this information after 1 week. Now tell me whether it disturbed my course of audit or not. Did it disturb my course of audit or not? So unnecessary delay in the information provision is also one of the significant difficulty which you have to communicate, right? Next thing, if the management has put any restriction on you, अगर मैनेजमेंट ने तुम्हारे ऊपर कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन डाल रखी है, that also you are going to communicate. That also you're going to communicate to the TCWG. Sir, I was going to check the cash register. They said that no, you can't do the cash register. No, this book we will not allow. No, this confirmation from the debtor and debtor is not allowed. Right or not? Now tell me, is there a problem in this case or not? Yes. So if there is a problem, we are going to communicate with whom? TCWG. What is the next thing I'm going to communicate the significant difficulty with the TCWG? If I am finding difficulty in obtaining the SA. I'm finding difficulty in obtaining the SAAE, at least communicate with the TCWG. I asked management this evidence. They were ready to provide me, but unfortunately, I'm finding it difficult to get it. And most importantly, if the management is showing unwillingness, in assessing its going concern assumption. Tell me one thing, as per SA 570, whether the auditor has to check various kind of indicators which are indicating towards the poor GC assumption? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, auditor has to check that. Now tell me one thing, if the management is reluctant, management is avoiding me about the assessment of the GC assumption, kuch to gadbad hai, then it is my responsibility to communicate that to the TCWG. Did you all understand the point or not? It is my responsibility to communicate that with the TCWG. Right or not? So these are the various significant findings and these are the various significant difficulties which I am going to discuss with whom? Which I am going to discuss with the TCWG. So what I'm going to discuss with the TCWG during the course of an audit? So what are my significant findings relating to the aspects of your qualitative accounting? Qualitative aspects of your accounting relating to accounting policies, relating to accounting estimates, relating to financial statement disclosure. If I found any significant difficulties relating to unnecessary brief time, unavailability of the expected information, significant delay in the information system, the restriction imposed by the management, difficulty in getting the SAE, and unwillingness by the management in determining their GC assumption, then what extra I have to communicate them if I find any material weaknesses in their internal control system. Those who are in the old syllabus of the intermediate audit or those who are in the CA final audit, you all know that there is one SA 265 where we communicate with the TCWG the weaknesses relating to internal control system. Yes or no? Everyone write SA 265 if you know that. But those who are inter-audit, new syllabus, intermediate audit, new syllabus, they don't have SA 265 in your portion. So we also have to communicate if I find any material weaknesses in their internal control system. I'm also going to discuss with the TCWG what I have discussed with the management. I'm also going to discuss with the TCWG what I have discussed with the management. Am I correct or not? And very most important point. Whenever you are giving any modified report or whenever you are going to include any EMP, OMP paragraph, again repeating, whenever you are giving any modified report and whenever you are giving any EMP, OMP paragraph, at least communicate the TCWG, the wordings of your paragraph. अगर उनको तुम्हारी wording से problem है, if they have any kind of problem with the wordings you are using in that modified or EMP OMP paragraph, then in that case better to change that unnecessarily. Why to create? I'm not telling you to change your decision, I'm telling you to change your wordings. So better that it is being clarified by the ICA that whenever we are giving any modified opinion, like a basis of qualified opinion paragraph or disclaimer or adverse, or you're using EMP OMP paragraph, make sure that you discuss the wordings with the management, and you also discuss with the management TCWG relating to other matters. Sir, what comes under the other matters? Other matters means suppose during the audit one event has taken place, or you come across any kind of other information which was not disclosed to you, or during the course of an audit you communicate with the previous auditor and the previous auditor has disclosed you some very important information. Are you getting the point? If you think that is so much important and required to be discussed with the TCWG, make sure that you are discussing with the TCWG. These were all the things you need to discuss when. These are all the things you need to discuss when, everyone. You need to discuss all these things during the course of an audit. So tell me one thing. At the beginning of the audit, did we discuss our auditor's responsibility with the TCWG? Yes. Point number 2, did we discuss the planned scope and timing of the audit or not? Yes. During the audit, what I'm discussing? I'm discussing the significant findings. I'm discussing what? Significant findings and significant difficulties which I found. Did you all understand? Yes or no? Did you all understand? Yes or no? Acha, tell me one thing. Acha, tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. Last 2 points, E and F. Last 2 points, E and F. Am I going to discuss E and F when? At end of the audit. I'm going to discuss E and F points when? At the end of the audit. Did you all understand the point or not? I'm going to discuss E and F points when? At the end of the audit. Did you all understand? Yes or no? Crystal clear? Yes. Now, sir, what is the next thing? Fourth thing we have to discuss with the TCWG. The next thing which I'm going to discuss with the TCWG is about my ethical requirements of ICAI regarding independence. Now tell me one thing. ICAI strictly says that you have to be independent or not. क्या ICAI हमें नॉन इंडिपेंडेंट अलाउ करती है? नहीं करती. ICAI strictly says that you have to maintain the independence not at the beginning, rather throughout the audit. So I have to also discuss my ethical requirements relating to independence also with the TCW. But let me tell you one thing. If you are a listed company, if you are a which company? If you are a listed company, then so it is mandatory that you have to file this statement with the company. याद रखना, if you are a listed company, it is mandatory to file the statement with the company. You also have to tell that there is no family financial relationship with the client. You also have to ensure to the client that there is no family financial relationship with the client. And if you have any relationship, what kind of safeguards you have taken to ensure that those relationships will not come on the way of your audit. Did you get the point or not? First of all, I have to declare my independence statement. Second thing, what kind of relationships you are having with your client, and what are the safeguards you have taken to ensure that those relationships will not come on your way. Are you getting the point or not? It all depends upon what kind of dialogue you had with the management and TCW at the beginning or starting of the audit. That is the fourth thing you have to discuss with the TCWG. So everyone, please write in the comment box. Please comment me right now. Please write in the chat box what are the 4 things we have to discuss with the TCW. Quickly. Jaldi se bata do. We have to discuss the auditor's responsibility plus planned scope and timing of the audit plus significant findings and significant difficulties plus the independence. All of you write it in the chat box, waiting for your reply. Please write it in the chat box, waiting for your reply. Jaldi, quickly. Jaldi likh do all the 4 things. Jaldi se likh do. All of you, those who are watching, please write it in the comment box, in the chat box, so that I can understand whatever I'm teaching you, are you able to catch each and everything or not? यहाँ तक समझ में आया? That is why the standard name is known as communicating with the those charged with the governance. So what we are communicating? We are communicating auditor responsibility, plan, scope, timing of audit, significant findings and difficulties, and most importantly, independence. Clear everyone? Yes or no? Now, what should be the communication process? That is the next thing we are going to understand. What should be the communication process, my friend? Communication process, कैसे communication करना है? Communication can be oral or in written. Communication can be in oral as well as in writing. Do you all agree with that? Communication oral भी कर सकते हैं, communication writing में भी कर सकते हैं. But if it is a significant finding communication, if you are communicating for the significant finding, if you are communicating for significant finding, then my friend, it must be in writing. That is what SA 26 is saying. If it is a significant communication of findings, if it's a communication relating to significant findings and difficulties, it has to be in writing. And make sure that you are communicating on timely basis. This is just now I told you, some things you have to communicate at the beginning, some things you have to communicate during, and some things you have to communicate at the end. Do you all understand the meaning of timely basis or not? Make sure that your communication must be on timely basis. Some things you have to communicate at the beginning, some things you have to communicating during, some things you have to communicating at the end. And most importantly, if the oral communication, most importantly, if the oral communication is inadequate, अगर तुम्हें लगता है कि oral communication inadequate हो रही है, oral communication is not becoming better, then also you must communicate in writing. And let me tell you one thing, even if you are doing the oral communication, auditor has to be very clever. He should make a documentation for the same, what he has communicated. याद रखना, तुम्हारे पास एज पर ऐसे 230 उस चीज का डॉक्यूमेंटेशन होना बहुत जरूरी है. इट इज वेरी मच मैंडेटरी फॉर यू to have a documentation of that communication which you have done orally, because you never know when the client may put up the gross negligence charges against you. Do you all agree with me? Yes or no? So what should be the communication process, everyone? It can be oral or in writing. For the significant findings, it must be in writing. It should be on timely basis. And if the oral communication is looking inadequate, then also you should communicate in writing. And whenever, let me write it here only so that you can all understand. Whenever you are communicating, if you are communicating in oral, then make sure that documentation is compulsory as per SA 230. Right, CC, if you all understood? Right, CC, you all understood? And if you think that there is no effective communication taking place between you and TCWG, if you think that there is no effective communication taking place between you and TCWG, then understand its impact on Romum. If you think that there is no effective communication taking place between you and TCWG, then देखो, non-communication with the TCWG never affects your financial statement. Always remember that. Non-communication with the TCWG never affects your financial statement, but yes, evaluate its impact on Romum. उसका रोमम के ऊपर क्या इम्पैक्ट आएगा ड्यू टू इनइफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन विद द टीसीडब्ल्यूजी, दैट यू हैव टू चेक द इम्पैक्ट. डिड यू ऑल अंडरस्टैंड? अगर मजा आया ना, जल्दी से लाइक कर दो वीडियो को, दोज हु हैव नॉट लाइक्ड इट, एंड गिव मी द थम्स अप इफ यू थिंक दैट यू ऑल अंडरस्टूड दिस स्टैंडर्ड आल्सो सुपर्बली. खत्म हो गया स्टैंडर्ड? स्टैंडर्ड इज ओवर, right or not? If you all understood SA 250 and SA 260 superbly, make sure that you are giving me the thumbs up. Those who have not liked the video, just like the video. And I'm going to end up this video right now, and do share it with your friends. I will make a playlist of these videos. Let's Conquer playlist. I'll put it as a name, and I'll keep on putting the videos inside that whenever you want, whatever the speed you want. And I will mention my number also there, my name also there, and you can always get in touch with my Telegram channel. You can always get in touch with me on WhatsApp. Telegram channel तो नीचे दिया हुआ है, ठीक है? It will be given in the description, and don't worry, these notes also I'm going to give it in the description. मैं बहुत वधिया अमन मैं बहुत वधिया. Thank you so much for asking, अमन, after such a long time. मेरे ख्याल से अनअकैडमी में मिले थे लास्ट, yes or no? अनअकैडमी में मिले थे. Thank you so much दिव्या, राजेंद्र, संदीप, अमन, रोमिन, अमन, अमृता, ज्योति, everyone, very thank you to all of you for having a trust and confidence on me and coming live from 9 to 10. Is this time good for you? Yes or no? The one question factor affecting mode of communication. Yeah. Factor affecting mode. This question, na. Ah, it is not that much relevant. इसलिए मैंने discuss नहीं किया. But don't worry, it is there in our notes. Okay, Jyoti ji, it is there in our notes. Factors affecting the mode of communication क्या होता है? Nature, size and operational structure of the entity. Entity का कितना बड़ा nature है, size है, operational structure of the entity that affects the, what is the control and legal environment of the entity that affects the mode of communication. Second thing, uh, what is the legal requirement of that law under which you are communicating with the TCWG? If the law is telling you to communicate in writing only, then you have to communicate it in writing. What are the expectations of TCWG? TCWG की तुम्हारे से क्या expectation है? Are they expecting it from you in oral or in writing? That is also one of the factor. And one most important thing, the amount of dialogue you had with the TCWG in the beginning. Ki are you going to communicate in the oral or you communicate in the what do you say, writing? And significant changes in the members of governing body. So these are the various factors. I think this is the question which you were asking about. Amrita, was this the question you were asking about? Jyoti, yeah. So will you be uploading other chapters further other than standards? Till your examinations, I'm going to come live, everyone. You just let me know whatever the topics you want in the comment box, not in the chat box. In the comment box, you just let me know whatever the topics you want. I will make sure that each and every topic will be given to you. Are you getting the point or not? Each and every topic I will try to cover it. Okay? Standards for the next 10 days, standards I will cover. I will try to cover almost all the standards. Right now, sometimes in the 1.5 hour session or 1 hour session, I'll cover 2 to 3 standards also. So in the next 10-15 session, I'm going to cover standards. Then I'll take up intermediate topics and CA final audit topics simultaneously. Are you getting the point? So I hope all of you enjoyed the lecture. So I hope I have justified your expectation also. So thank you everyone. Thank you so much everyone. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you so much everyone for having a trust and confidence on us. And thanks all of you for watching the video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Right? So it was lovely teaching you all. I hope I met your expectations. और ये सब लोगों के लिए ठीक है. And do let me know. अमन अमन कोई दिक्कत नहीं यार, कोई बड़ा छोटा नहीं होता. I will borrow it tomorrow. Thank you so much for your patience. I'll borrow it again tomorrow. Bye everyone. Bye everyone. I'm going to put these notes in the description box, and at the same point of time, I'm going to put each and everything in the description box, whatever you are looking for, right? Bye everyone. Bye.